Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Hebot, your boy. Once again, I'm gonna do a quick video, and this is me trying to talk about and kind of addressing the whole debacle going on, damage controlling, narrative changing, misleading crap that Insomniac is pulling. Again, throwing misinformation to try to make other people look bad when they're the ones who stated one thing and they're part of the problem and they really are the issue, and then they change it up. So the title of this video is basically Insomniac is pulling a hokey doke once again, and PlayStation fans are eating it up. That's the title. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they're trying to say now, after they got slandered all day on Twitter yesterday about the whole fact that it's an expansion DLC, story DLC, that will be included with a remaster of the Spider-Man game currently available on PS4. So they're selling you another revision of an existing game on PS4 for PS5, because they are clearly not able to do a new game, obviously in short time, and plus because that deal hasn't gone through yet, so we don't know where it stands yet. And they're also working on a new Ratchet and Clank. Plus, let's keep in mind that PlayStation 5 has no IP exclusive for launch. So they have to do some type of selling point to make people interested in buying the console. As soon as they showed in their presentation the Miles Morales Spider-Man trailer, people were running real quick with the idea, oh, it's the sequel, it's a new Spider-Man game, it's a spin-off of Spider-Man PS4. Which clearly, if you have any common sense, you know that he was in the game. You play him as him in certain parts of the game. So they're trying to make a continuation to kill off time, to give them more time to either finish a sequel if they have another deal, or to readjust the alignment deal with Marvel Disney for a sequel, if they're even going to do that. Because I really believe if they make a sequel, it's going to be either timed or multi-plat, because Marvel Games is the one that owns the rights for the movies. I mean, for the games, and Sony owns the rights for the movies. The whole PS4, like I said many times, Spider-Man deal was because they were trying to get something in return, and that was to put Spider-Man in the MCU, because they don't have the rights to Spider-Man on screen because Sony owns the movie rights. And with that deal for the 3-picture movie of having them on 3 movies and 2 standalones, they were able to get an exclusivity in the console with a game, which is Spider-Man PS4. Now, with that being said, also keep in mind that whatever movies are made, even by Marvel and Disney, that is based off Spider-Man, all that revenue for that movie goes to Sony. Marvel and Disney make the money off everything else, meaning video games, merchandise, and anything like that. So that's how it canceled itself out, and they both make some type of benefit. So they make the money off the merchandising of the movie and the video games and anything else that's not related to the movie. And Sony makes all the merchandise money, all the profits off the movie that Marvel made, right? That's why Disney wanted to pay for 50% of the movie budget with Sony, and they could keep the movie profits, and they would split only because they own the merchandising rights and video game rights. Now, in the very early morning, I'm talking about before 6 o'clock in the morning, this was already out. Sony themselves, the people who own Insomniac, the company who has the deal behind all the Spider-Mans right now, right, with Marvel Disney, right, they confirmed that and made it clear that Spider-Man Miles Morales was an expansion DLC that was added to a remaster that they're making of Spider-Man for PS5 for launch. That's why it says coming 2020. And really fast, people started questioning, well, why? Why are y'all doing this? Is it going to be available for PS4? So this expansion is not even going to be available for the PlayStation 4 guys, right? Which I could understand if the DLC aspect of it, because it's going to be a DLC anyway, would make sense because of the fact that they're trying to utilize the power of the PS5. But at least let the console upgrade like a smart delivery technology that they're doing with the Xbox One X, the PS4 version of the game. But instead, they're not doing that, no. Which leads you to believe to other things that possibly maybe the PS5 will have the capabilities of maybe upgrading certain games, right? But at the same time, you have people like Remedy and people like, I forgot what was the other that confirmed that all upgrades will be free on PS5 and Series X. So then that leads us to believe that Sony's maybe redoing a remaster because they want to make extra money, because that's how they usually do business. And especially in the fact that they don't have big pockets anymore. They don't have deep pockets like they used to back in the day. Okay? And they've lost a lot of money generation to generation. So after all that debacle, around 5 o'clock, 4:30-ish, Insomniac posts, no, it is not an expansion DLC. It is a standalone game. Remember, the game don't come out for like 4 months. So to change the idea that it was supposed to be an expansion to the PS4, Spider-Man PS4 version of the PS5 game, is not a big deal. So now what they're trying to say is they're going to sell it as a standalone game like they did with Infamous Second Son, right? Last Light, I think it was called. And then with Uncharted Lost Legacy. Uncharted Lost Legacy was like a 7-hour, maybe a little bit more game, right? And they charge you $40. $40. When we all knew it was an expansion DLC. But they did that because that year they didn't have no games, so they were trying to make the portfolio look a little bit bigger. Because they were a little sparse in games that year. So now here comes the debacle. They see the backlash, so of course they're going to, do what they do. You guys are acting, and I'm talking about, when I say you guys, I'm talking about the Sony fanatics, right? Not the fanboys with logic, not the real fans that use their head. Like, Ted Price and Insomniac has never lied before. The whole reason they did the Insomniac Sunset Overdrive deal by Ted Price's mouth himself was because at the time they wanted to do a stylized game, like in the vein of Jet Set Radio. Sony said no because they just wanted photorealistic games for PS4 at that point, right? So they wanted to make this game, and the only person and the only people and company that said, okay, we'll do it, fine, but the deal be that we'll have the publishing rights, right? You keep the IP, but we'll have publishing rights, right? So Microsoft said yes, and they made the game, and the game is awesome. It's probably their best game out of all their games, okay? Alongside Ratchet, right? Now, you see that Ted Price said multiple times, we love our independence, we love being an independent developer. And then when they got that Spider-Man deal, because Sony suggested them, because they had no other in-house developer to make the game at the time, to Marvel Games, because they approached them because they wanted to do that deal, they said, oh yeah, we have somebody that we think could do a good job on it. And when they told them, they had a choice of picking any Marvel game. They chose Spider-Man, which makes sense because I think it fits more of their identity and their style of gaming as far as developers. Because they like to do comical things, colorful things, with tones of adults, but that also have like a comedic, kiddish style, right? And Spider-Man likes to crack jokes, he likes to be silly, because Peter Parker's a teenager. So it kind of makes sense that they picked that. So they immediately said, no, we want to do Spider-Man, right? But they had a choice to make any character. Let's get that, and this is all public record, let's get that straight for the record. And guys, please excuse me, I'm in a lot of pain. Trying to, avoid it because I've been really messed up. Yeah. So they do this, and now, right? They make the game. They made all this successful money that they never made with any other game, because there are other games like the Resistance series, like the Ratchet and Clank series, like the Song of the Deep, like Fuse, like Sunset. None of those games ever did well for them to the point where it put them on the map as a respected, well-respected developer, even though they've always done really good games. Kind of like Ninja Theory, the same way that until Hellblade, they didn't get put on the map, even though they've done fantastic games, right? Since day one, right? Even though their first game was a little bit smaller and really more of a fun type of game with Blitz Kung Fu Chaos on the OG that Microsoft allowed them to make and gave them a chance. Now, so as soon as that happens, what happens? A couple of months later, what happens? After Microsoft been buying all the studios, they go, because people asked them, well, would you let Microsoft buy you as a developer before this? And you guys can make Sunset Overdrive too. So, oh, you got to go talk to Microsoft. Plus, we want our independence. We want to stay independent. But what happened? As soon as they saw that Marvel money, they saw the clout that put them up in the map through PlayStation, they really quick ran to Sony. And for a measly $235 billion, they sold the company as a developing company. Now they're owned by Sony, right? And then the first thing Sean Layden did was he tweeted out, the future with Insomniac is Ratchet and Spider-Man, right? That's what he tweeted out. So, right there shows you the lies and hypocrisies from the owner himself, the founder and CEO of Insomniac, Ted Price, which is a hypocrisy. And nobody called it out. I did, but many other Sony fans didn't. They just said, yo, it makes sense because they've always been synonymous with Sony. So, and Remedy's been synonymous with Sony. Did Remedy get bought by Microsoft? No. And you think Microsoft didn't try to buy them? Of course they have. But they wanted to stay independent because they were about their word. Remedy really wanted to stay independent. Now they're a publicly owned developer. Meaning multiple companies owns them. So to buy them now is even harder because you have to make sure that all the companies that have a share in their stock, in ownership, agrees to the amount that is given to buy them. And that's probably why Microsoft hasn't even tried to buy them now. Okay? Because you think Remedy, and the first thing comes to your mind is Microsoft. That's the association you see. Okay? And that's why I said if they go to another company, it would be stupid and absurd because they are not synonymous with any other company but Microsoft. Instead of being honest, that's what they did and how they approached it. So now, they see all this backlash yesterday. They get all this, feedback from people getting upset because they're like, why y'all doing this? Why y'all reselling? That's not cool. And real quick, they try to change the word. Oh, yeah, it's a standalone. More than likely in the vein of Lost Legacy. Okay? And the Sony fans are eating it up. Like, yeah, it's a standalone. They corrected it. No, man, no. Listen. If the company that owns you was the one who said it first, and they came out and said, no, it's a remaster, and this is a DLC expansion to that remaster that will be locked to the PS5 version, you have to buy it on PS5 in order to get it. Okay? If they said it, that means because that was really the idea behind it. That's why Insomniac came out and clarified it and not Sony, so they wouldn't look like the asshats. And they wouldn't get claimed like, oh yeah, look, Sony's playing the hokey doke. Sony's not stupid, bro. They've done this year in, year out since their inception in PlayStation 1 with Sega Saturn in the very beginning. They've been doing this since their whole existence. Where something doesn't go right and they see somebody else get slack for it, or something happens and they try to change it up to fix it and wipe off and with bullshit and lies. Just like they keep saying they have 500 million consoles, and they did a commemorative edition console that was 500 million, right? And then you come and see that the Guinness World Record, which you can only do that with real factual numbers, stated that they sold the most consoles of any other company, which was at 450 million. So the other 50 million consoles just vanished and disappeared. And nobody called them out. I did. Nobody else called them out, especially in the Sony side or Sony camp, like their fans, their so-called Sony fans. So again, like I said, this is just them doing a hokey doke because they saw the backlash, and now they're trying to fix it, which is understandable. I get it. They want to fix it, just like Microsoft did with the DRM because they saw the backlash. It only makes sense, okay? But if you guys that call yourself real Sony fans are literally going to sit there and try to act like this wasn't the intentions all along, that it was not going to be a standalone, and that this was the real idea, you guys are fools. And that is why you deserve to keep getting treated like garbage. Because you let Sony do this type of garbage and trash to you. And instead of you guys calling them out on it and tell them, don't insult our intelligence, just be honest, you let them keep doing it. And you let them keep saying shit. And putting a hokey doke on you guys every time. You guys act like whatever they do is perfect. Nothing is wrong. Whatever they do is amazing. And that is why you still don't have great games with multiplayer, with co-op campaign, and with single player experiences, with longevity, with fun factor, with engagement. You don't have none of that. You just have one and done style type games or handouts from Japan, because the Japanese love supporting their Japanese console companies and not American. Okay? And we saw this entire generation. So that's my take on the whole idea. I know Insomniac is doing a hokey doke because I've seen them do it before. They've lied before, they got caught. They're not going to lie to somebody with brains. And all those Sony fans that are real Sony fans, you guys know who you are. You guys are not dumb either. Okay? Does this change anything about if you're excited about the game or not? No. Because as a fan and as a gamer, if you want to try, you're still going to go out and buy it. And you're still going to want to support it. Me? I'm not buying a remaster to get the DLC. Okay? No. So if this is a standalone and it's reasonably priced, then maybe I'll support it. But if it's a standalone for $40 and the game's like 6 hours or 5 hours or 7 hours, I'm not buying it. I will buy it when it's on a $20 sale, because that's what it belongs and that's what it is. It's a $20 DLC story expansion. Like, you guys keep forgetting that Microsoft with Gears 3, they did the ROM Shadows story expansion, which had Kim. That you play with Kim and his crew, and it was about 5.5 hours long. And that story expansion was given to you through Xbox Live, where you downloaded it and paid for it, and it was only $5. And it had 5.5 hours of content. And you're gonna sit there and tell me that Lost Legacy being maybe 7.5 hours, 7 hours for $40 is justifiable? No, bro. Sorry. You guys are crazy. And you guys are showing an example, a perfect example of corporate slavery at the highest kind. Okay? Just like if you guys are okay with all your PS4 games not having something like smart delivery, where it's going to upgrade and give you the best performance of the games just by the console's power, but yet they want to charge you for remasters like Demon Souls and things of that nature that's coming out. Okay? Even though it's a real remaster, but still, you're getting charged for you're buying remaster, and possibly a Bloodborne for better frame rate and resolutions only. No, that's bad business practice, and that's anti-consumer. You guys can't clean it up, and if you do, you're corporate shills and cheap. Okay, and you guys want to say that Xbox dudes are the corporate shills and cheap? Nah, Microsoft already said all your Xbox One games will play better and perform better on the Xbox Series X because of smart delivery. That's consumer friendly. And that's what any real logical gamer and person that invests in this hobby heavily with a lot of money will want. If you say that's a bad thing, there's something wrong with you up here. Sorry. You take it as you want. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you. Insomniac, shame on you. That's not nice. Be honest. Stop being misleading and stop disrespecting the gaming community. You guys do better, and us gamers deserve better from you as your supporters. Okay? You can only bite your own hand for so long without getting into bigger problems, and eventually you're going to come to the point where you're going to pay the price for your misleading and bad practices as a developer with Sony, and Sony allowing you to do it as well. So shame on Sony and shame on Insomniac. And no, this is not an assumption. This is me using my logic, okay? Because I've seen this before over and over. It's like a research, reset, a continuous cycle. Every Sony launch title, they give you a hokey doke, like this one. You got Sackboy, Astrobot, which is a tool to show you the features that you can do with with the controller and the console, and possibly maybe VR, because they didn't even talk about VR. And then also you got, this DLC expansion, which is a shame. No gamer should be excited by buying a new console for games that look like indie games and games that are, and a DLC or a glorified DLC. No. You buy a new console for the new games that they're going to give you, including exclusives. Okay? And half of their exclusives are just timed, unlike the ones that are for Xbox that they announced are full-fledged exclusives. Because we're not talking about PC, we're talking about console. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave a like if you like, leave a dislike if you didn't like. Or don't do none at all, because really, it's up to you. It's how you feel after you watch the video. I can't force you to do anything, and I'd rather you be genuine and honest than be a hypocrite. I'm not asking you. I'm just telling you what you can do for my channel to help if you like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you what to do. And as always, if you guys ever want to help me out any way, shape, or form, you know how you do it. It's down below. Description. Share this video with someone you think might like it as well. And, I guess I'll see you soon in the next video. And stay safe. Love you guys. And as always, if you're new to my channel and you subscribe, remember, I'm very grateful because I know you didn't have to. But if you did, I consider you now part of my family. Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan. Don't get triggered, people. It's just gaming. It's all in good fun. Bye-bye, guys. Peace.